What up, y'all? Y'all know what it is, man. Your boy Trendsetter Sense. Of course, this is Chosen Journey, man. And I got this brother right here, man, lyricist, man of God. Man, well-renowned, got bars for days, got a story to tell, man. And we gonna dive into it. Jered Sanders, what's up, homie?
Hey, man, I'm just cooling, dog. I'm cooling. I love ATL, man.
What you been doing since you been in the A?
It was her birthday, so we kind of celebrated a little bit.
Okay.
We just did something with the Fix, like Friday, like a listening party.
My brother
and whatnot.
Focus.
Yeah. Shout out to Focus. I think
I saw you had the listening.
Yeah. Then I did some content with Will Thomas out here shooting a bunch of videos.
Nice.
He was in the trap though.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny because like I tell my daughter this all the time. She came to the trap spot with me, and she was like, "Get me out of here!" Like,
Really?
Yeah. It looked like a Jordan Peele movie for real. Like it was kind of like real talk.
Yo, man. Like when you're talking about the content, man. Like I love the way you do your videos. I was watching one video where, like, we was rapping and then the TV was behind you.
Fire.
Like, where do you get the concepts, with
every time I think about how social media is now, it's like your own broadcasting network, right? Mm-hmm. So you're trying to keep people there. So whatever it is that you're doing, as long as it ain't foolishness, you know what I'm saying, at least make it interesting so people keep coming back. So I figured if I had me rapping in the camera still, and the camera, TV in the background showing that, I was like, that'll be fire. So we just went with it.
Yeah, I notice every time, like, it's just something creative. I'm like, yeah, man, I see it.
Right, appreciate it.
Jered Sanders in the building, man. Let's talk about it, man. Who is the Hymn Reaper?
Hey, man, it's funny. I got a whole bunch of little names off of that. I was Martin Luther Kingdom for a minute.
Okay.
It was Hymn Reaper. I was a whole bunch of things. So, honestly, it's just, an opportunity to be creative with the fact that we got a call. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Christian through and through. So I'm just trying to find an interesting way to keep people back, circling back, like, oh, Hymn Reaper. Let's figure out what that is.
Yeah, that's fire, man.
Yeah.
Let's go back. You said, of course, being a Christian, man, when was Jered Sanders calling? When did God call you?
You know what I'm saying? I think the call was different than the answer, right? Like you know what I'm saying? Like God be calling, knocking on the door, but finally you got to say, yeah. That probably happened when I got married, for real.
Okay.
I was doing a lot of stuff on the industry side, picking up a lot of steam with Hip Hop DX and DJ Booth and Too Dope and all them guys, and getting a couple label. Yeah, shout out them and getting some calls. And then the wife was like, she was like, yeah, I can't rock with you. You keep on this wave. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I kind of had to submit. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be a divided house. Ultimately, that wasn't even to change music. That was just on some like, all right, I'm just not going to make music anymore because I thought I couldn't do it, authentically. So, finally switched it up about a year and a half later, I started doing Hope is Dope. So that's kind of what it was.
And then musically, that's what it was also like, complete dedication.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration?
Well, I knew that if I was going to do it, I wasn't going to turn around and go back. I mean, like, that was the big thing for me. Like, I don't know. I come from old school, switch up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you are going to switch up, make sure that it's for something that's valid. And, the Lord is valid, 100%. So for me, it was just, stay in the course. Yeah. And I didn't want to put my feet in until I knew it was what I really wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And I had young people looking up to me. I was in the church, but I was still a knucklehead. But I had young people at the time looking up to me. And a lady who was at our church, we call her our church mother now, she asked me one time, because I was still doing secular rap, still going to church. And she said, hey, how do you reconcile making the music you make and still trying to pour into these young people? And I didn't have an answer at the time.
Yeah.
So that was convicting.
Yeah.
So really it was just accepting that I had a call, I had a purpose to be here. I just had to answer and put, 10 toes in. So
Jered Sanders is here, man, talking about it. I was reading you posted in 2020 you thanked RMG, Doc, Derek, and you said you thought you were cooked.
Yeah.
Can you kind of dive into that?
Yeah, because, ultimately it came down to, back in 2020, I would say, right around COVID, I think that kind of, unsettled a lot of people. But marriage was on the rocks at that time. I think COVID kind of rocked a lot of marriages, real talk. But, because you had to be around each other. You know what I mean? You couldn't go to work and escape it. But ultimately, at that time, I had just stopped making music, period. And I didn't have any inspiration to do it. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to just not do it. I'll be at the house. We'll stay safe and not sick from COVID. And then finally, I spun the block on the conversation with Doc a couple years later.
Shout out Doc Watson.
And I was like, yo, I think I got some stuff, trying to figure some things out. What would you be interested in having a conversation? And he was like, yeah, we could have a conversation. And I think it worked out really well. I think because I felt like RMG Amplify offered the width that was necessary. Because sometimes when you join to a label, especially in the Christian space, because it's we're building infrastructure here. You know what I'm saying? The industry side, it's tons of radio outlets, it's tons of DJs, tons of everything.
Right.
Over here, we're trying to figure it out, and I felt like RMG was trying to stay honoring God, but maintain the opportunity to be able to give more resources to artists.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's really what it was.
Man, just you're making me just because we just had a conversation about RMG, so that's a good thing, man. I don't know if you noticed, but my very first interview on Chosen Journey was Bizzle.
That's what's up.
Yeah, and I saw you have a post about God over money.
Yeah.
And you were talking about it's a time for a new chapter.
Yeah.
Shout out to Bizzle.
Yeah.
So I just kind of wanted to, can you explain what that meant?
Yeah. So, I had been with GOM since 2017. Like that was first label that really gave me a shot. I was making music prior to that, but I feel like any kind of move you make, you want to make sure you elevate, right? And so when Bizzle circled the wagon and approached me about a situation, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Our initial conversation, I told him, I was like, honestly, I just want to have something to do and something of my own, right? I knew that I wanted to have Hope is Dope kicked off the ground, but I knew that I had to kind of build that up. I didn't just want to be a guy that said, hey, I'm signing artists and not know nothing, right?
Yeah.
So, when I initially came to GOM, it was under that premise that I was going to give them, the agreement that we had, and then finally be able to fly on my own. And I satisfied that commitment. So that's really what it was about.
So what is this chapter looking like for Jered Sanders?
Yeah, man. Hope is Dope music, man. I wanted to be able to have a platform to offer one. I think, understanding what I've learned over these 7 years and being with some people that I'm not the smartest person in the room, rocking with Derek and Doc, they were able to offer me something that said, hey, we're going to help you regardless of whether or not you put this last record out with us. Because I did, Jordan with the Wizards. That was my last project with GOM. But Doc was like, yo, we want to keep you here too. So we will help you still.
Okay.
And I was like, for them to get nothing from this and still be able to rock with it, I was like, man, I gotta spin the block on that again.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was the thing.
You brought it up. Jordan with the Wizards. I love the title, man. It says a lot. Like, like when you think about Jordan with the Wizards, it's like Jordan after the 6 championships.
Yeah.
OG Jordan. Still made the All-Star, but he was a little more mature in age. His
100.
game was a little different.
Yeah.
So I want to get what was the inspiration Jered Sanders putting behind Jordan with the Wizards?
Yeah, I think when I observed the space, I think when I took that time off, I wanted to make sure that I had something I could give to the space. Instead of just being somebody who was a taker, I always felt like, what can Jered Sanders bring to the space? Like, what can I offer? And what I could offer is marriage. What I could offer is now having 3 kids. I got a 7-week-old at the crib.
Congrats.
Yeah, I appreciate it. What I could offer is, like, making it cool to grow up. Ultimately, I think that sometimes what I see is in the observation in the spaces, you got a lot of young guys that want to stay young. You got the Peter Pans, and then you got some of
the Peter Pan.
You
killed that.
And then you got the old heads that want to stay young.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, Nah, I'm cool. Like
Yeah.
I've been married 11 years. I got a 10-year-old daughter. Shout out to Puda. I got a 7-year-old son, and I got a 7-week-old baby. And I love my life. You know what I'm saying? Like not trying to be a young boy anymore.
Young boy.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
from Philly. That's
I
how
know,
we say.
I know. Yeah.
That's funny. Jered Sanders is here, man. I want to quote one of your lyrics, man. Faint of heart.
Yeah.
If timid and fake or got limited faith, you probably listening to Drake. Yeah. Man, dive in.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think ultimately we got to get to the point where, as we're trying to mature, we're trying to tap into things that are also trying to mature. Really, that's what it's about. I mean, when I see, it's funny that like me and Drake around the same age. You know what I mean? Like I came up with Cole and Kendrick and all of them guys, and those guys going on tour with Mike Posner, and you know what I'm saying, doing a lot of work on the industry side. And so seeing me being near the same age as them, and some of them staying in the same pocket they've been in since the beginning, I was like, yo, like, what y'all listening to? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you're trying to listen to somebody who, you know what I'm saying, is just trying to stay in that same bubble, I think as a Christian, I think there should be a devotion to get older and to mature and to grow up. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah.
What is Jered Sanders like? What is your purpose? What is the calling? Like, what were you called to actually, like, what do you feel like your calling is overall?
Well, I try to stick to what the Bible says, man. Go and make disciples, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, man. Like, ultimately, I have to be a model first and foremost, staying tapped in with the Lord, growing and maturing. The second community I got that I have the utmost devotion to is my wife and my children. You know what I'm saying? Raising them the right way. And then from that, being able to build community with the local church and then go to the community. Like, I think sometimes what I see a lot of people do is they skip steps. You know what I'm saying? They want to go into something bigger than themselves. They don't got no prayer life. You know what I'm saying? Like, how we get to that step before we even get to the home base. And so, my calling is to make sure that I nurture and develop these people in the house. Wash my wife with the water of the word. Make sure that my kids is straight. You know what I'm saying? However that looks, the Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, right? So what am I doing to pour into my grandbabies? Like right now, like even if it's not monetarily, like how do we lock that in? And so that's my call, and whatever comes from it, whatever the Lord gives me, I'm going to try my best to steward it well.
Crazy. 2025 going into 26, man, where do you see Christian hip hop? Where do you see your role as Christian hip hop? How do you see everything going?
I think Christian hip hop is probably as versatile and diverse as it ever been. You know what I'm saying? I think that's really cool. I think there was once a sound to CHH. I don't think that exists as much anymore. I think what's happening is we're maintaining that competitive element to it so that, the aroma is sweet. You know what I mean? Like, if the world is out here trying to trick people out their spot, I feel great to know that the Christian space is fortified enough and talented enough to be able to be persuasive in what we present to the world, which is counterculture.
Right.
It's saying, hey, you don't got to be a knucklehead. I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, my space is to recognize that I just want to gravitate and connect with the people who God sent me. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people get this whole, fishing for souls thing a little confused. Like, when a lot of people modernize it, like, you got a fishing pole and you throwing it into the ocean. Well, back when Peter was fishing, it was a net. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't zzz, reel it in. It was like, hey, let's throw this out here, catch everything that we can. And sometimes they might have caught some fish, but sometimes they might have caught some seaweed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the only way you're gonna ever know is if you commit to trying to cast the net. I mean, and for me, it's to make sure that I grab on to the people that want to jump into the net. You know what I mean? Make sure I stay there.
Man, that was a bar, bro. That was a bar. Yo, like, as a rapper, cause bro, your flow is crazy.
Praise
I almost want to put you on the spot and have you do it at 8 bars real quick. But where did you get, like, who were you listening to when you developed your craft?
I mean, I would say that, I've listened to, the greats, like, everybody from that people want to mention, the OG greats, definitely I'm a big fan of Black Thought. I love the way that
I see where you already going with it.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. Like at the same time, there's some new cats that's out here that are keeping the culture going. You got Jered, you got Kendrick, you got Cole, you got those guys that still pay honor to that. Like honestly, when I listen to music, like I didn't cultivate my skills listening to Christian rap. You know, I cultivated my skills listening to the people that were the forefathers of it. You know what I'm saying? And so like that's who I'm trying to see. Like, am I? And interestingly enough, and it's gonna sound controversial, like I put my 10,000 hours in. I'm not really. I'm looking for skills that I haven't really acquired yet. Like, where am I gonna get that from? So when I'm listening to music, truth be told, I ain't even listening to music with words a lot of times these days.
Okay,
it's like rain sounds and like airplane sound. Like, cause honestly, because I do so much writing, I be trying to get some quiet time, right? Because I think that the best way to get inspiration is to sit in silence and just live your life. You know what I mean?
Wow.
That's where you start to hear a little bit better. So yeah.
Man, Jered Sanders, man. Jordan with the Wizards, man. Let them know. Project out now. Let them know everything, platforms, how they can find you, all of that.
Absolutely, man. Jered Sanders, at Jered Sanders, man. I'm just a dude that like fried chicken and peanut M&Ms. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, ultimately, it's like Jordan with the Wizards is the project that if you're a young person, hopefully there's some gems in there for you. If you're an old head, hopefully it's reminiscent of hip hop. If you somebody that ain't never heard of me before, hey, just press play and figure out to do with it what you will. I know you're gonna catch the essence of it. I know you're gonna hear the art. And I'm out here. I'm always making music, so you're going to keep hearing from me.
Man, I love it, man. Man, salute to you, man. Crazy. Man, much blessings. I love it. The project. Jordan with the Wizards. You see it, man. Jered Sanders, Trendsetter Sense, Chosen Journey.
Right on, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.